everyone, this is Tino, and our last video that we did regarding real estate, we had a lot of questions. So we are here joined by a group of professionals. We have Griselda, a real estate agent, and we have Donnie Walton, who is our lender officer.
Yes, sir.
Our loan officer. And on this video, we're going to talk about the loan process, and he is the person to go to. He is a very knowledgeable and professional individual who's going to answer some of the questions that we had. Thank you for joining us.
No, thank you for having me.
Okay, one of the questions that we had was on the credits. What are some things that people need, especially first buyers, first-time buyers? They're worried about what kind of credit, what percentage of credit they need in order to start their application.
Yeah, I mean, so each loan program could be a little bit different on the requirements for credit scores. Typically, generally, you'd want to be around a 600 minimum. But I would like to also say that if you're not a 600, I would still encourage people to go ahead and apply for a home loan. There are things that we can do on the lending side, like run credit simulators and things like that to help boost scores. And the whole idea is to get them into a qualified position if they're not there now, but generally around 600.
Okay, and if there's people that are close to the 600s, is there anything that they can do to help improve their credit score?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're close to a 600, it's generally pretty easy to get you up to a 600 or higher. Some of the common things will be, paying credit card balances down. Credit card bureau or credit agency bureaus, they look at like utilization of credit. And so it doesn't take much for us to run that simulator. In reducing a balance, you'd be amazed that you could jump 30 or 40 points just by paying credit card balances down a little bit.
And you know what? A lot of people, including myself, I didn't know that once you get a credit card, do not max your credit card. That is a big mistake. Yes. I learned the hard way because my first credit card, I started buying here and there before I knew it. I had already maxed it out, and that really hurt my credit score. It does. So don't max your credit cards. Is there anything else that they can do to work on their credit? Yeah,
the obvious thing is try to make the payments on everything on time. That's probably it's critical, to be honest with you, because a late payment is very difficult to overcome. But I would say monitoring the balances of your credit card, that's probably the easiest thing to do to control, is keeping that balance down. The sweet spots are around 30% of the limit. So if you've got a credit card with a $1,000 limit, you want to keep that balance around $300.
Oh, okay. That's very important to know. Now, another thing that they were asking us on that last video that we did was the percentage that they need as a down payment on a property. Let's say that they're buying a property that is $350,000 to $400,000. What is a percentage that they need to come up with?
Yeah. Each loan program can be a little bit different, but generally speaking, the minimum down payment is going to range anywhere from 3% for a first-time home buyer. That would be a conventional home loan. If you're not a first-time home buyer, you can get by with as little as 5% down on a conventional loan. FHA is 3.5% down. But there's also two loan programs that doesn't require down payment at all. You've got a USDA home loan. We have down payment assistance. You also have USDA home loans, which are geared more for rural areas, outside the metroplex. It's no money down. And then if you are a veteran, you are no money down as well.
I didn't know that. Yep. That is very important to know. So if you're a veteran and you're looking to buy a house, you can qualify for 0%. Now, another thing that they were asking us is for the self-employed people. How can we prove their income and so forth?
Well, Donnie is really good at that. He has several different programs he works with, and he is very knowledgeable, and he'll be able to help them out.
Self-employed is always a challenge, and the beauty of being self-employed is you have this ability to write things off. So your taxable income is not always really a true indicator of what you really make. Sure. So a couple of things that we look at doing for self-employed buyers is first, the traditional method is we collect 2 years of tax returns, sometimes one, and we base your qualification on your taxable income. But if you're that buyer who wrote a lot of things off and you don't qualify with tax returns, we have the ability to collect 12 months of bank statements. We average those deposits, and we use an average of those deposits as income, and we don't use after income. I also have the ability to use a 1099 as well. So we've got a large variety of options for the self-employed buyers, just because they are one of the more challenging categories because of those write-offs.
On the last video that we did, we touched up on the subject of people, especially in the Hispanic community. They have cash. They have cash. They don't really trust the bank, I would say. They don't deposit their money. They have it, and I'm talking about 30, 40,000, 50,000 in cash. Now, that is not recommended, correct?
It is not recommended. We kind of refer to that stuff as mattress money in the mortgage business.
Exactly.
We say the same thing.
Yeah, you've got mattress money, which I understand where they're coming from, but if you're in that situation, I would encourage you to reach out to us sooner rather than later, because all deposits to your bank account have to be sourced. And so we'll have a conversation about trying to get that money deposited and let it season. It needs to be sitting in an account for a period of time.
I think last time we said about 3 months minimum. Would you say that that's fair?
That's fair. That's fair. And depending on how your cycle is on your bank statement, depending on that cycle, as long as we have 2 full statements with no deposits, that money is considered seasoned. Okay. So I would encourage you to reach out to us sooner rather than later, and we can kind of talk you through your individual situation. And
always make sure that you reach out to a professional, because there's a lot of people that want to charge you for information. They want to don't pay money to anyone, because here in a few minutes we're going to be talking to another professional regarding title and everything. But I would say don't pay anyone any money up front. Everything is done legally through different sectors or different individuals, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, we don't charge anything up front. As a lender, we're not compensated until you close. And
the same for us as a real estate professional, and that's why we say, always feel free to reach out to us. Even if you're not sure that you qualify right now, we will be more than happy to walk you through, guide you, give you some pointers to get your credit score up. If we have to refer you to somebody, we will look into options. However, always trust the professional first before giving yourself up or saying I don't qualify right now. You just never know.
Yes, because a lot of people think it's very challenging. I know you've seen probably everything here. What would you say are 3 of the biggest obstacles that people face when buying a house, especially first-time buyers?
I think probably one of the biggest things is overcoming misinformation. There's a lot of misconceptions out there on how you qualify for a home, what is needed, what is not needed. So I would say that's probably the biggest one, is just, overcoming that and us educating. Outside of the misinformation, I think the biggest thing is just talking to somebody about credit, how to utilize their credit so it benefits them, and then just income, whether it's pay stubs and W-2s or tax returns, because there's a lot of individuals out here today that earn additional money through overtime, commission, and bonus. That type of income has to be calculated differently, so that's probably one of the other items I would say that's a little bit more difficult. But the sooner we start having these conversations and collect the documentation, the better off you're going to be, because the idea is to put somebody on the path to home ownership, whether that's within the next 30 days or the next year.
Oh, okay. So basically, stop making the landlord richer. Just make that step to where you can buy your own house. Tax season is coming up. You're gonna get your tax refund. Use it wisely. Don't go out there and buy that expensive purse. Don't go out there and get that expensive car. Invest in your house, because that's your future for you, your kids, your family. Correct?
Yes, it's definitely the best, I guess I would say, investment for your future, best return. I mean, the bank is never going to generate you interest. You utilize that money properly. Give it as a down payment, even if it's your first or second home. I mean, invest in real estate.
And even if you already have your house, you can always get a rental property, an investment property that you can look into. And these are the individuals that are going to help you. They are professionals. They know what they're doing. We guarantee you that. So if you have any more questions that you want to get to us, by any means, let us know if you have any more questions. Donnie, thank you so much for joining us, for answering some of these questions that we had that arose. Now, if there's any more questions that you guys have, please let us know. We're going to put Donnie's information here in the video so that you can either leave a message or reach out. buying a house is a lot easier than you think. Don't be scared. Don't think that just because your credit is not out there, that doesn't mean it's not going to get there. It will, as long as you work on it, as long as you reach out to professionals that will help you. And these people don't charge a dime until the transaction is over, so they get compensated when the transaction is finished. You don't have to pay them anything up front. So just make sure that you reach out to a professional that will help you, and that they know what they're doing, basically.
Thank you, Tino.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
We're gonna wrap up this video, so just make sure that you leave any comments that you have, leave any questions that you have, and thank you so much for looking at this video. We're gonna bring you some more information in the future regarding real estate, regarding loans, regarding how to buy your first house, or even if you already have a house, how to get into an investment property. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.